Hi there, good afternoon. Welcome to another interesting episode of the Tackle Podcast, where we discuss everything Ghana Premier League. We look at the big stories from the weekend and also do a review of all the games that were played and also preview the upcoming matches in the Ghana Premier League. So you get all the interesting juice right here. My name is Mutalaya Yakubu. I'm here with Augustine and Mandela, who is making his debut on this show. Mandela, Charlie, welcome.
Thank you. Bro.
As he said, you did do some good work with social media stuff.
I mean, we just used to like keep on and just promoting the league.
Hard work pays. So someday you will get your bread. Like the way this man is getting his bread currently
from the socials.
Of course. Charlie, everything cool.
Yeah, everything good, Charlie, outside.
By his grace.
I'll be there, okay.
Oh, I'm fine. Once I'm not ill and I'm here, I mean, life goes on.
Somebody they chop money there, you know.
Charlie, let's look at match day 7 of the Ghana Premier League and what transpired. I mean, Heart of Lions bouncing back to winning ways against Baseke All Stars. You predicted that Lions were never going to drop points in that game, and surely they won 3-0.
Yeah, I think the Lions team have now gotten to understand what it takes to survive one. They've gotten past that. And now they've now.
So they are no longer a team that is looking to survive.
No.
They've gone past that.
Because if you look at when Bashir Ford was appointed, 2023, I think 21st December. Since then, I told you the last time that he has accumulated most points in the league since he was appointed. And I think that's around 1-1-1 currently. And now, obviously,
I think it was the season they were trying to survive.
Yes,
where they didn't play at the Pando Sports Stadium. And
so before then, I think they had played 13 times. They had won and they had drawn 5 and lost to the other. He came in and changed their fortunes. Survived last season. We saw what happened. The difference between them and the champions, I think, was just 3 points. Yeah. And they are marching at that title contention this season. So I believe they've now gotten past that, and they know how to do it. They have an experienced gaffer at the helm of affairs, but Sherford. They have Daniel Nije, who is assisting him. And these guys are guys who understand how to get what you need to get in the Ghana Premier League. So for the Lions, that's why they call it the Lions then. And this season, I think they've played 5 times there. They've won all. They scored 5, considered none. And it's just good for them, especially as they travel 3 times on the road and now they are back to the Pando Sports. Come on, for the next 3 games, it's going to be easy for them.
Mandela, for their opponents, Holy Stars, 6 games, no win. It's becoming extremely difficult for Evans Adote, who is a Ghana Premier League winner, by the way.
Mutala, I actually think they will be relegated. I'm sorry to them, but I think they will be relegated. I mean, it's not just about the fact that they play 6 matches without, any win or any picking up any points really, but it's also about the fact that 6 matches they've not scored a single goal in there. That's wild, because 6 matches, 9 goals conceded. That's very terrible. And now, like we were talking before, I mean, the show started that now they are going back to their home. Because I remember after the game against, when they lost to, was it BBNE or so? Last 2 weeks, I believe, yeah. No, I think the game against Heart of Lions, when they lost, right? Brekum Chelsea, yeah. So when they lost, and their goalkeeper was complaining, was making a point that they needed to go back to their home, because playing somewhere where was not helping them.
In the Ghana Premier League, if you don't
move away from the home matches, you are likely to be. And we've already seen that for 6 matches. So I think, yes, they might be able to pick up a few points. When they go back to their traditional home grounds, but 6 matches without a single point, I honestly don't see how they are going to survive. Because if you look at the teams above them, Dreams FC, Dreams FC are also, they're also struggling. But I think they would actually pick up towards the tail end of the season. From the second round, I think they can actually pick up. So Basake, relegation, I'm sorry.
Now, Bashir Hayford, after that defeat to Gold Stars, said most of the Heart of Lions players were solely headed. So he said he had a long talk with them throughout the week. He seemed to have done the magic.
Yeah. And I understand, and it also worked for them, because if you look at the Lions team, they were dominating every game regardless of the result they were getting, especially after playing Kotoko and Hunter Folk in the space of a week or 2 and avoiding defeat in both games, especially when you are playing away from home. Of course, if you're playing such a team, you'll be slowly headed. And they now traveled to BBN Gold Stars, and that's where it came in, because I did last time that that was the perfect time to meet BBN Gold Stars, especially when they didn't have a stable team at that time, no manager at that time, and then they're also going through a phase of dropping or losing points from Kotoko to Vision and then back home. So I think it was the best time to meet them. They started well controlled, but then they couldn't convey their chances, and he just had to talk to them.
Let's move on to Doma. Some 4 seasons ago, playing at the Nana Mabedu Park was, a tough task. Teams go there with the mentality of knowing that you might not come away with even a point. But in the last 2 seasons, they've shown that invincibility is no longer there. But Aduana seem to have started the season well.
Yes,
4 wins at home.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about Aduana seem to have changed. Even their branding. They got a last-minute winner against Dreams FC. And their coach says that it shows their mentality that they are never going to give up. If when the whistle has not gone, don't think the game is done.
You know, before the season started, I was looking at, Pandu being the fortress, in the league. But what Aduana have done at the Nabwan Park is very impressive. 4 matches, 4 wins is impressive. I think the only team that have like a better, home record would be Mediama. They played 5, they won 4, and then drew 1. Yeah. So I like the whole movement, the Aduana movement, especially on social media, because I do socials, I monitor almost all the clubs.
They seem to have done
Yeah. Very, very impressive. I think Atapoku is doing a very good job with the club.
They've actually gotten some guys in the industry who they are working with. And they are top guys.
Because I've seen that Emmanuel Mafu flying.
Almost.
And I was coming to that point. See, the way they are marketing their players is actually very impressive, and they are very proactive. I'm sorry to say, sometimes when we make petty mistakes, on our socials, they are very proactive. They prompt us, guys, let's do the right thing. So I think they are very proactive this season, and it's just the culture around the club is reflected in their players. So Emmanuel Mafu, fantastic goal. Last 2 weekends, and then I think they can just keep the momentum going. I think they are the team to beat.
The CEO is having an effect on the team.
Yeah.
Due to his experience in the media and as a football administrator, now coming into it full time.
Yeah, because I don't know a single thing in Ghana football that Atapoku has not seen before. Right, yes. Atapoku has seen everything.
Yeah.
And he has followed almost every team. And then especially with how he's put a foot also into politics and in administration.
Yeah.
He obviously understands how to do these kind of things. And I was glad looking at the tail end of the transfer window where they had to make some key signings. And it is some of these signings who are doing very well for them. There's Mezak Efe, who was started becoming Chelsea.
Yeah.
There was Gregory, who was also going to become Chelsea. They all came.
Gregory Obing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obing Seche.
The young goalkeeper.
Yeah. Obing Seche is now at Aduana.
Yeah, I know.
And Emmanuel Mafu last season was at Aduana, was at New Edibias. I thought we said something last season, he said something that he has the best striker in the league. I didn't believe him, but I think I will side with him.
But is he really the best striker in the league?
The best, looking at what he does,
Yeah.
I just hope that we are going to get a chance to see more of him as time goes on. Because if I just to judge by the numbers, but of course, a striker's role is just to score.
He has scored 4, not far off first place. Atakumi has scored 6, right? Yeah.
And if you look at the quality of goals, taking away the one
penalties,
even taking away the one scored in Norway, you can tell that the quality of goals he put at the back of the net are solid, and it's brilliant.
But back to the game itself. I actually thought that goal was headed for a draw. Before that 85th minute winner. I actually thought that it was Dreams FC were solid on the day. They were just unfortunate to get a point on the day. I thought it was a goalless draw on that day.
Let's not go in the way of Winfred Dormont. It looks like there's something really missing. Should he go back and take the philosophy of his father? Karim Zito, and say, okay, let me go with the Karim Zito's philosophy that he left at Dreams FC, because it looks like he wants to build his own Dreams FC. But it's not.
It's not going well. The thing is, I've actually spoken to a couple of guys, and they actually believe Dreams will survive. I think I interviewed Felix Omag,
I also believe that they will survive.
Felix Omag was talking about the fact
they know how to survive.
Yeah, because the club is run very well, so they don't have so many off the field issues. It seems to be, on the field that they are struggling. So I think if they can or they will survive, it depends on how well they are able to, get points at home. Because the last time when the guys went to, the two bars they are 1-1 against Vision FC, right? Yeah. The fans were agitated because they felt like they should have won that game before John Etchi scored that penalty, that equalizer for them. So I think the fans know that this team can actually perform. They can get more in terms of results. Yes, the performance hasn't been so well, but again, it hasn't been so bad as well. So they think that they can actually get points from those games. They are not getting as more points from.
Now, I was at the Accra Sports Stadium on Sunday, standing just closer to the dugout. Then when BBN Gold Stars walked in, Newton, video analyst for the team, came closer to me and told me they are going to shock Hartlepool. I didn't believe. I thought Hartlepool, after those back-to-back wins, were going to batter BBN Gold Stars. But what I had seen from Gold Stars, especially against Heart of Lions, where Lions started on the front foot but lost grip, and Gold Stars came back to win the game. But then it was a completely different story. Heart of Oak started, scored, got loads of chances, frustrated the fans, and the second half turned on its head. Gold Stars scored twice. Then Heart of Oak had to chase the game.
Let me put this on record, right? That the first 45 minutes of Heart of Oak was the best we've seen from them this season.
Okay.
That first 45
Yeah, first 45. Okay. Why? Because that was a...
But Charlie didn't create chances.
Yeah, they created a lot. They were...
You know, the former Kotoko boy could have even scored 2 on the day.
Rocky Jamina. Yes. And Rocky Jamina actually had a midfield to himself. He was controlling, just flew into like water.
It was a bad day for Konto and Amon.
Yeah.
They no see.
Who played left back on the day?
For Heart to Focus.
Yeah, Ransford Mensah. That was a terrible performance from the guy.
Also, doing a stuff that subpar stuff and that. But then I think that was the best.
What is wrong with your boy?
Which of my boys?
Which of your? I guess it's Hamza.
So you see,
Hamza Issa.
I think for Hamza, he chewed bones when he was a kid or when he was a baby.
Early.
Yes,
he picked too early.
Yes.
Okay.
And when he was expected to mature and then chew the proper bones, he's now.
Michael Owen said it happens to a lot of players, and it happened to him. Yeah. Michael Owen, he picked very early at Liverpool. So when everyone was expecting,
so the expectation
like
went
Marcus
high.
Rashford,
yes,
he picked
exactly.
very early at Manchester United, and everyone said, "Oh, then this guy will go on and do bigger things." It looks like that is what is happening to Hamza.
And yes, and that's that because if you get promoted from Aurora the first season, you go on to score 13 or 14 goals. You come the next season, now decreases to 4 goals, and now you scored once. And it's not like he's not getting the chances, right?
Yeah, he's getting chances. Even in that goal start.
Yes, I think the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, so me and you.
Yeah, and it was just terrible. But the problem, just as we've been saying, that if you really want to fix this, sign someone who is better than Hamza, and they didn't get that.
But they signed Frank Duku.
But how is Frank Duku better than, even in Hamza's West season, he still had numbers than Frank Duku. So how do you tell me he's better than him?
So they didn't sign an upgrade.
Yes.
That was the problem.
Yeah. So Hamza,
I think they recruited well. For me, I thought Heart of Folk recruited well.
Heart of Folk recruited well anyway, but to me, I don't think they did because there were some key positions that they were supposed to.
Charlie, you watched the game.
Yeah.
And it was a game of 2 halves. First half, total dominance from Heart of Folk. Loads of chances. Couldn't score more than 2. Second half, Gold Stars pegged them back twice. And after the game, there's been a lot of criticism leveled against Benjamin Asare.
Of
Do you
course,
think he was at fault for even any of the goals?
So before I come to that, I think that I was very surprised. You're talking about the fact that you thought us were going to batter. I mean, BB, and it was.
No, I am even saying that even after the game, when I spoke to Didi Dramani, he was frustrated they couldn't win the game.
Yeah, because
he said the result was not a reflection
of their performance on the day. Yes, I agree with that. I mean, their performance was solid on the day, but looking at this outside, they've struggled to score goals.
Yeah.
So why you don't sign strike?
But they have Hamza Issa there. This is a guy last season goals. He was coming off the benches. He was banging in the goals. And this is the season.
So you thought it was a gamble from Heart of Folk not to? I mean, you signed a solid defender. You bring in Abdul Karim, the midfielder.
Yeah.
And bring a backup goalkeeper, solid one.
Yes, Agbasi. Then you don't sign.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe they thought because like he had given them those numbers in previous seasons. When they give him the trust to actually lead the lines, he could actually deliver. But things haven't gone so well for them. 6-7 matches, not so well. But back to the whole conversation whether Asare was at fault for both goals. Honestly, I think no. Yes, for the first goal, especially, could have reacted very fast to the cutback, right? Because the second goal, the cutback went straight to attack me, and then he just tapped in.
Yeah.
But the first goal, he could have reacted better to actually save that ball. But the left back, Mutala, that guy was
Ransford.
Bro.
People say he was the weak link on the day.
Yeah, sorry to say, it was terrible on the day. And then, Bibiani, they are right wing forward. He was having a field day on the day.
Barry Maba.
Yeah, he was having a field day on the day. So they just passed the ball to me. And he knows that when he gets the cross, the cut back, attack will be right there. And both goals came in similar fashion.
Yeah, it was
just a run, a cut back, and then
you see, this boy, the bash Hamza, Chubun, but they brought in Kwabno Usu. Someone who has played the Ghana Premier League before, went outside to Saudi Arabia also, came back with a big reputation. Why are you not talking about him?
In the past few years, right? How many players do well in the Ghana Premier League, go to these countries, and then come back and still do better than they were doing the previous times they were here? You hardly get people like that. The most recent one
I have examples, but most of them most of them have not really had a good time coming back.
Yes, CC set us.
The most disappointment I had came from the Awisi Taylor.
Exactly.
Safu Taylor and Solomon Safu Taylor, for instance.
And then and the Kumi. Like we have a tall list, right? And Prince also, though he was in Ghana, but then he was not playing competitive games, and then
yeah, I think he stayed home for 1 year.
Yeah, he stayed home because they wanted to get him in January, but they couldn't finish their deal, and then it came to the summer. And I think Prince also, I don't know, but I don't really believe Prince also like that, and I don't really know
what's his best position.
I was about to ask, and I don't know, but I also don't know one thing that he's too good at.
Okay, for me, from the many times I've watched Prince Owusu when he was at Gold Stars, he's more of a number 10.
Yes.
But these days, because of the typical 4-3-3 formation, if you are a typical number 10, you don't really function well.
Exactly.
That Mesut Ozil type of number 10. And
So you then be deployed as a winger.
So you also be forced as either a winger or
because
play
now
back
every
into
coach
the
is
midfield.
almost employing a 4-3-3.
4-3-3,
And that's about a diamond formation, be that you play up front. So Prince Kwabena also was like a number 10 at BBN Gold Stars. But these days, it's not working.
But even if you are forced into a diamond, you would have defensive, responsibilities.
Yeah.
So then that takes away your
No, because all the games I've seen him play for Heart of Oak, it's not as if, yes, we can take the fact that he's not scoring, but he's not even pulling his weight.
But,
in terms of
But
contribution,
one thing we're also forgetting is that before this game, as they haven't considered a
they
single
have
goal
not
at all,
considered any
and then
goal.
two goals in a game. That's something.
You think teams had not really exploited their defense, and BBN Gold Stars are the first team that really tested the metal at the back, because on the day, Afrano could not cope. Afrane just couldn't cope with the pace of Atakumi and Berima, but he just couldn't cope.
Mumutala, the goals they got against Heart of Oak, right? When I was watching the goals, do you know what I remember?
No.
Their game against JS Cavill.
Oh, okay.
If you watch that game, and I believe they learned a lot from that.
Lessons, yeah.
Because if you watch that game, the goals they considered in Accra and even in Algeria were just similar goals they scored against Heart of Oak.
Right.
Get your wing forward in advanced position, get him free,
And he cuts his back.
and he cut it back.
Yeah.
And those were the kind of goals they were conceding in both legs. And I'll not be surprised if, as they are back in the league, they also keep using that to get a bit of.
Because it looks like if Heart of Oak would not lay their hands on the league, it would be their forwards. Because the lack of goals in the team is beginning to catch up with them.
Yeah, because if you played 6 matches and
Okay, so they scored two. Mauli Wayo, who is a forward.
I think that goal should be an own goal, right?
But it was credited to Mauli.
I think
that's
it was
interesting.
That is what the match commissioner said, that it was credited to.
true.
But from where I see,
Yeah, that was an own goal. I mean, that was clearly an own goal. Yeah,
It was a cross that was diverted into the net by an Abba. So it should have been
So
an
now-
own goal. And George Paku
Wayo
also
2,
score.
Paku 1, Hamza 1, Hussein Mohammed 1. So I think they suffered from the same thing last season, and that's why they might just be some few meters away from the league.
Do you think they need someone with like a bigger presence in there? I'm thinking the likes of someone with the stature of say Kofi Koji in there.
To 2025.
No, I'm not saying they should bring him back, but I'm just
Are
saying.
you talking about the stage?
the stage, yeah, in terms of like
the physical. But they brought one boy from Tamale City, he couldn't play.
Abdulaziz Adam.
He has the stage, he had everything.
He's currently suffering
Yeah.
from a wrist injury.
Yeah.
I understand,
But the games that he played for us, he didn't do anything extraordinary.
so I think their scouts really need to do way better than.
Because defensively, I still think they are solid.
They just
And
need to find-
Amankwa Befi has surprised me.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the right back that he's playing, he's been tremendous at right back.
So the problem looks like it is the left back now. Because against BBN.
But there's also one thing about Ransford Mensah. He's not too good in defensive positions, but then
going forward.
but going forward, he's quite okay.
Let's look at match day 8. But before that, let's discuss some topics that have come up throughout the week, starting from the camp of Asante Kotoko. Albert Amoah is gone. Divided opinion. Some fans are frustrated, angry. Others feel the club needs money. Safuduku comes out to say that Ghanaian clubs can only survive by selling players. Asante Kotoko fans feel that they've sold their best bet to scoring goals because they don't think Morfin Donzone is good enough. And they don't also think that Kwame Poku coming back from an injury would be an instant hit. Where do you stand on the Albert Amoah deal?
I think I agree with the fans when they say, he's arguably their best player in terms of like scoring goals. This is he's already scored 2 in 3. Last year he scored 7. He scored 12.
He scored
12. Yeah, 12 in 25. So look at the numbers, almost a goal every 2 games. That's quite impressive for them. And if you look at the timing of is still like Mutala. I don't know what the club was thinking because this is a club that's been battered in Africa.
Charlie didn't hear on you.
And almost like.
But I'm hearing the deal is around $500,000.
Yeah. I'm hearing something.
The total deal is around $500,000, and Amwa will be pocketing about around $200,000. If your brother, you go talk, say make his stay.
Oh no, you say if you might.
No, I they ask question. I'm just asking a question. Your brother be Albert Amwa, he play Kotoko. It's that season where everybody they praise him. He gets a deal which you pocket around 20,000. I'm hearing even every month you take around 10,000 to like $15,000. You go talk, say make his stay.
You know the thing, I actually understand that there was a Qatar deal at the beginning of the season, and he was advised by Kotoko to actually stay, look into if you can possibly get like Black Stars call-up and all of that, because they were going to Africa and they thought they would actually go into the group stage and all of that. So yes, I'm not surprised it was sold for that amount or whatever. Yes, as a player, he needs to, because this is a guy actually monitored him a lot when he was at the Olympics. Him with the likes of Emmanuel Enchi, Benjamin Asare,
and all those boys,
and Oko Gripan, now at Nations FC. So I actually monitored. I saw how they were living at the time, and not to say yes, it is good for him as a player because at the time you could see actually these guys were.
But it's bad for Kotoko.
Yes, it is bad for Kotoko to actually sell a player. Because if you look at this Kotoko side, how are they going to score goals this season?
That might be a better one back in Charlie. The boy go. Charlie, where do you stand on the deal? Because others are saying that it doesn't speak well of our league, you know. But Safudu looks to be justifying the sale.
But do you think the club's official communication director should be saying these things on here?
But then score them 5. 2 hours after they score them 5, they release a statement saying they still their best player. That one said we no go talk.
So I think fans don't really have some fans. Some of them are right, and then some are also just.
So where do you stand?
I'm on the same page and also not.
How can you be how can you be MVP and NDC at the same time?
I have 2 legs. One is here, one is here.
How can you be MVP and NDC at the same time? So where do you stand?
So if you're a family member, make you go.
Okay, so let's take the fans away. Augustine, as a GPO specialist, analyst, expert, where do you stand on the deal?
It is not good for the league. That one the fact.
It is not good for the league, right? But you see, my priority is Kotoko, not selling the player, right? Safudugu said they need money, and of course they've been taking money from Menchen and others. They had to sell, but the timing, even apart from the timing of selling the player, how they announced it. I learned the deal was completed 36 minutes after they played that game, so the fans are outraged after he played the game. You have been beaten by 5 goals, right? And then it was at the airport that Al-Ali announced it. But I think it would have been best if, despite Al-Ali announcing it, Kotoko just kept quiet. They come to Ghana, because if Al-Ali announced and you are yet to announce, it will just be a rumor. Albert, are you going or not? And Kotoko will just be there.
But I think that would also have created like a vacuum for like a lot of bashing all of that, because the moment the deal was official and Al-Ali announced it, it was just right for Kotoko to actually also announce it. Because if Kotoko didn't announce it,
so usually when a football deal is agreed by 2 clubs, the clubs agree when we should announce it. Because one party can say, okay, I agree, but boss will say, you competition. When we are done with that competition, then we agree on when to announce.
So even if you had to tell Al-Ali not to announce and they still went on, it's still lied in your court, because remember when Samatex had to sell Lord Heradabu to Kotoko, they announced that they sold the player even like 3 days before Kotoko announced it. Do you understand? So just leave Al-Ali to do their thing.
But others too say it means the players, any iota of opportunity for him to enter the Black Star is just extinguished.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true.
So if you go Libya, they score 15 goals, 20 goals. Don't you think?
It's Jonathan Soa not scoring. Jonathan Soa is scoring in Tanzania. But how many people have spoken of Jonathan related him to the Black Stars? Jonathan Soa was scoring in the CAF Confederations Cup and semi-finals and finals also last season. But we're not even talking about him related to the Black Stars. So I think for Libya there, come on.
So Albert Amuan's chance is gone.
Yeah. It's gone.
Well, let's move on and talk about Nations FC. Parting ways with Kassim Mengo. Today they've made an official announcement. Frimpong Manso is coming in. Do you think it was a good move, considering the fact that this man has been there like 3 seasons, challenged for the title and all that?
Last season they actually almost won the league.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever happened and all that, right? And they I think they ended up fifth right?
Yeah.
But this season, to be frank, they haven't really performed. 12th position, I believe, just 2 wins out of 6 or 7. Yes, two wins out of 7. So they played 2 draws and then they've lost 3. I think, yes, was it the right decision? I think their performances have dropped in terms of pure performance. If you're looking at how well they performed this season, I think, yes, it was the right decision. But in terms of culture or like continuity, yes, he knows the club. He could have actually turned things around and all of that. I mean, over the weekend, they were man down. They won against Living Wonders 3-2 and all of that. So
I was with Frimpong Manso.
Yeah.
I hosted Nations against Samatics.
Yeah.
And my guest on that day at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex was Akomia and Frimpong Manso. Little did I know Frimpong Manso was coming to work for Nations FC.
So, I mean, around that time, were you hearing?
This is like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We didn't hear any rumor. Because Kasim Mingo is Kasim Mingo. And he had even resigned from, is it the Black Under 23 or say Black Meteors or something like that to concentrate fully on Nations FC.
But then again, I just think the performance just wasn't it for them. They just thought they could just let him go.
He's gone. So let's move on to match day 8 of the Ghana Premier League. So Frimpong Manso's first assignment will be against Bechem United on Friday. Game will be live on TV3 and on Onuya TV. Bechem themselves have not been too great under Issa Botwe. And we are hearing that there could be more casualties as far as managerial sacking is concerned. But Frimpong's first job is against Bechem United at the Nana Fosuji Park.
I think Nations, starting from that, from there, Nations did the right thing, right? I'm someone who really don't have a problem with the sacking of coaches, but but the most critical thing is who comes next, the kind of decision you make next. And I think Frimpong Manso is someone in the recent years have proven to be solid when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. And Nana Fosuji today, it's not that Nana Fosuji we knew like 2 or 3 seasons ago. And Bechem themselves are finding it difficult to even get wins there. They just got wins there. A win that I think against Vision FC. And they lost to Karela last weekend, so they are coming back. I believe that their coach is also on a very hot seat now, and he would also want to do everything possible to get the win. But that new manager, I think, would also set in for Nations FC because they have the qualities.
And not scored a hat trick.
Yes,
yeah, fantastic player.
Yeah, Emmanuel, I think, has been one player who has been underrated in Ghana and it's less spoken of. Right?
Do you think it's because he plays for Nations and not the Kotoko Hearts?
Yes.
If he played for one of them.
So we were praising Albert Samuel. Why were we praising him? How many goals are this?
So if Hatuful January say then go buy Emmanuel, you think it's a good deal?
And Nations wouldn't sell.
No, imagine Hatuful wanting a striker. Do you think Emmanuel fits the
Yes, he fits because he has not just proven at Nations FC. He did at Bechem.
Yeah.
And now Nations, at Bechem, he even went off for some while. He came back to Nations FC. He just got off the mark. And then,
Do you know what? One thing I feel that this season we may see a lot of managerial sacking before the first round ends.
Yeah.
One coach that is also on the hot seat is Tijani Abdul of Hoho United. He's coming to play a very tough game against Midiema on Saturday at Hoho, live on TV3, Onuya TV. Hoho have lost their last 2 games. They lost against Aduana, then they went away and they lost back home against a very determined Midiema under Ibrahim Tanko.
You know, if they are not played against Aduana before this game, I actually thought they would be invisible at home at the Always Sports Stadium.
Yeah.
Then Aduana went there and then they got that win. So I think, yes, that's whole idea of there being a slaughterhouse that whole mistake is not there anymore. So I think I've watched Midiama a lot this season because a lot of their games have been on TV. And I actually believe they are the best side in terms of performance in the league. The way they possess the ball, they keep the ball, they beat the opposition, all of that. I think they are the best side this season. But all United losing back-to-back games and then playing at home to their fan, they would actually like to redeem themselves going to that particular game. So I say it's been a tough game, but honestly, I think Midiama can scrap a 1-0 win.
Peter, may we go buy new bars, give Hoho United? Should that be enough motivation going to the
bars there, why?
Charlie, Hoho United are determined to stay in the league. And they want to do that by winning their home games. They know that their away games will be extremely difficult.
Yeah, whenever I come to the league fresh, right, I just said the main thing you should focus on is winning home games. But there are some games that, irrespective of how determined you are, it is too much of a difficult game.
But most of their fans feel that they do not have enough Premier League proven or experienced players, and that is the mistake they did. They should have brought in at least 1 or 2 Premier League players. Apart from Paul Kwame and a few others who have played the league before, most of them are new.
Yeah, I think that's also true. But if you look at the newly promoted sides, I think they made the best signings. You look at the kind of players they have, the kind of potential, and then even the manager was been in and around the GPL for some time now. Tijani, he knows the in and out.
But there's huge pressure on him now.
Yeah. I think there's huge pressure because somewhere last year there was no pressure on him. But then he lost to Adrian at home, a very good side, travels to Samatex, loses to Christopher Ennisem, and then he's back. I think he just needs to avoid defeats to be relieved of the pressure. And maybe the bus will play on the pitch to help them.
Finally, Asante Kotoko are back home. Karela, Baba Yara Sports Stadium, first game after the humiliating defeat against with that back-to-back. The defeats, home and away. Yeah. They are bouncing back. No, what's the name? No Albert Amoah. Yeah. It looks like Kotoko are coming to start all over again, and the focus will be to win the league and the FA Cup. Karela have recruited well. Yeah. They've also had some good results. Yeah. They have a Premier League winner handling them. Yeah. How do you think Kotoko reacts?
One of the most toughest games Karela played that season, apart from the Vision game, was against Karela at home. Yes, where Samotune Du scored from a long range, and then they won that game. Karela dominated very well, controlled the game very well, and I think it's going to be even worse this season. Look at Karela. We are talking about Tudian and then Medium. Mind you, Karela has beaten all these clubs, and when they travel, they're also quite good travelers, right? And I believe that Karela could, if not win, at Babaya could win Kotoko very well. They could be a thorn in their flesh, and I trust Nuyden Amadou.
Why you still think Kotoko may not be able to recover as quickly from all that has happened over the last few, days? Okay. Losing Kwame Albert's going and all that. So there seems to be a bit of destabilize something about Kotoko.
That is the more reason they actually need this win. They need to win.
But then I think Karela is not the best recovery you'd expect for Kotoko, especially Karela do have a very good solid line. They are not conceding. Fights Agarem and the others are doing solid at the back. And I believe that now Abetama is off, right? And this season, Kotoko failed to score in a game where Abetama didn't play. And come on, who is going to score? Now, for their strikers problem, right? There's Morfin who is still trying to win.
He's not scored a goal yet, right?
No, he's not. He's got an offside goal against with that in Accra. And there's Kwame Poku who is injured. He's obviously off from this game. And then there's Jordan Amisa who got promoted from the Porcupine, the young boys. And he's also not too well. So I believe it's going to be very difficult. And we've seen Kotoko to be a team where the midfielders also don't score that much. Peter Kwame, the winger, is also not scoring. Inus Adams here to score. Philip Amo here to score.
You know, Mandela, I'm thinking about this and my mind goes back to, okay, now Kotoko will be relying on Peter Kwame to score. But he's also not shown that he's a good finisher.
Yeah, so that is the problem now.
What does Kotoko do now?
I think Augustine was saying, their midfielders have been proven to be scorers this season.
You know why I'm asking you that?
No.
Because I see Kotoko and I see Haas, and they have similar
goal scoring problems
this season. And Haas have a goal scoring problem. Kotoko did not have because there was Amoah. Now that Amoah is gone, it looks like Kotoko may be facing that same problem that Haas are facing. Yes. Unless Emmanuel Ntwi, Hubejewu,
that's why they need to step up.
But you can't depend on your midfielders. You are not Barcelona.
You are not Barcelona.
Now you be Barca where you depend on Fabregas and those
Spanish national
team. That's why you need to step up. But I actually think maybe probably during December January transfer window they will actually get someone in.
Charlie,
I don't know for sure, but I think they need to get someone in because what Albert someone takes away from the team is goals. Yeah. That's guaranteed. They scored 2 in 3 this season already. That's average almost a goal every game. Yeah. So they actually need someone to bang in the goals. You cannot depend on Ubejewu. Emmanuel Ntwi is not someone who scores a lot. Yes, I've seen him at Great Olympics and all of that. He's not someone who can give you a lot of goals.
So I don't think he scored more than 5 goals in before.
Yes, it's not someone who can give you goals. So they need actually someone to actually
I would have to check Ubejewu's highest goal scoring season. I don't think he scored 5, more than 5. Because our midfielders barely score.
Yes, so they actually need someone to turn up. Otherwise, they need to get someone in January. That is the only solution.
So probably they need to take Morfin Dozo to Subin and baptize him. After the baptism,
he looks like a player that has something in him. It looks like his movement of the bobbard.
Yeah.
it doesn't really quite cut it for me.
but
Sometimes the
in
pressure,
terms of the goal scoring.
sometimes the pressure also cause as well.
What Zito said the last time, and even Abetama added his voice that because of the language barrier, right? He's finding it very difficult.
Yeah, that's
to come
also
with
a
the team.
problem.
And Abetama was citing an example that maybe if you are with the ball and then you want him to dash, so you give the ball to him in a very good attacking position. But by the time you get to understand what they are trying to say, I'm marking it out. I think yes, it will still be at play, especially when it's not going to even have a partner up front. So yeah, they are really going to be suffering.
But if they are not scoring, then it means they need to be solid defensively. Well, that's what we've seen with us of Hope.
Yeah,
we've not scored a lot of goals, but
the biggest challenge is by the time Kwame Poku might return, it might be too late at a point too.
Yeah, because the likes of Mediama and Adriana, they are picking up more points, and they can actually extend their lead to, let's say, 5-6 points before these guys come back.
Yeah.
So I think Kotoko needs to be solid defensively to actually balance them not scoring a lot. Because if you concede and you're unable to score, that means you are going to lose games. You get that? Because, for instance, as of folk, they've not scored a lot, but they've been so defensively. 6 clean sheets out of 7, and they are 3rd or 4th on the league log. So it helps if you're not conceding and not scoring out. So, yes, you need to score to win goals, but the thing with not scoring and not conceding is the fact that, yes, you get a point from those games, right? So you actually need to be so defensive.
3 live games will be on TV3 and Omia TV, starting on Friday. Bechem United are playing Nations, then Ho United on Saturday taking on Mediema. Then we'll finish off our coverage with Asante Kotoko and Karela. But other games also coming up. 11 Wonders, they are playing Diana. New Odati Lamte, Ghanaian legend.
At West Federal.
We all like Odati Lamte, but it looks like the job at 11 Wonders, it's a very difficult one.
It's actually looking like you'll be the next coaching casualty.
Most likely, because I actually don't know why he's still there. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why.
Many people were surprised they picked for a team like 11 Wonders who are trying to survive. Go for
Are you speaking for many people? Yourself, were you not surprised?
I was surprised, but I wasn't too surprised because he's been in the league before with 11 Wise. If you remember, he and CK Akono doing a job. But I felt that they needed a more experienced manager who has been in the Ghana Premier League.
But
like those who knows the terrain, especially moving them from teaching.
Maxwell Kunedu and
Bibisa.
I think now it transcends the managerial issue, and the home turf issue also has also really come up. Mind you, they played their first game there against Young Apostle, if I'm right, and they lost.
Yeah, they lost.
They go to nil
because it's not their home.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't get the support.
So it's like, now do they even have support? That's the thing. And
because it's not Techiman.
Yeah, it's not Techiman. And now you are playing home away from home against Adriana. Adriana is a side that's the home grounds that they've lost, right? It is either at the grounds where they have fans, or a team that plays very well. They lost against Karela. Karela played very well. They scored early in the game. They defended throughout. They played against Samatex. The game was supposed to play on Sunday, but because of the rains, it was postponed to Monday. But I know Christopher Enin boys. They know how to play well. And I think Samatex is a team that we should really applaud with the appointment of Eric Bequin. And since then, you could tell how the strikers are scoring.
Yeah. I saw one of their goals. Is it Collins or someone scored over the weekend? Brilliant goal. Samuel Bodu is also under pressure. He's coming up against Vision at home.
Jesus.
At where? Brekum. Oh.
I think for Bodu, he actually needs that win because since moving to Brekum Chelsea, they've not really, gelled and all of that. We've seen him struggle, against us a couple of times and all that, but they need that win against Vision FC to actually bounce back. Yes, it might be too early to say. Yes, it might be next on the chopping board when it comes to coaching casualties, but I think it needs this win to actually bounce back. Okay. They need to win this game at all cost because yes, it is a good game for them to pick maximum point. They need this win at all cost.
Hearts of Oak last season, the first game they played was against Holy Stars. They lost. So 2 games. The second leg against Holy Stars last season ended goalless. So Hearts of Oak are here to beat Baseke Holy Stars. That game will not be on TV. Hearts are traveling to face them at the Pia Stadium in the
Baseke.
Baseke are winless in the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah. And it's going to be very difficult for Hearts of Oak. And then this is a true test if you really want to do well and probably win the league this season. For a team that's winless this season, travel going back to its home grounds. And of course, Baseke is very far from Accra.
Yeah.
And so you would have to travel
a day before.
Yes, a day before and then go and get that done. Especially looking at Hearts of Oak casualty in attack and then how I think it's going to be off tactics. It's not going to be a tactics game, a game where you have to play 4-4-2 or 4-3-2 push. It's not going to be anything like that.
Very pragmatic. Let's go and win.
Yes, let's go. And it's going to be the
mentality. No, there are games like that too.
Yeah.
Like Mourinho says that there are times like that he enters the dressing room and tells the Chelsea team that just go and win the game. Whatever you do to win, with that ugly challenge, just go and win.
Because I think the guys from Basca are going to do everything possible, make the game very uncomfortable.
And especially being their first game this season.
In front of their fans.
In front, their fans will come in their numbers.
We saw how they frustrated Nations FC when they really wanted to win. And it's going to be a similar thing. So Didi should just tell the boys.
I think Kotoko couldn't even beat them there last season.
No. Kotoko, I think, drew 1-1.
Yeah.
Albert Tamas
Has drew goalless.
Yes, has drew goalless. So it's a very it's a ground that even the big teams find it difficult to get wins there, and I believe that folk.
I actually think as I would get a win there. That is what because so far from what I've seen from Basake this season, 6 matches, 0 goals scored. I mean, yes, we know they've played away from home and all of that, and going back to their home, they might or they would need to actually get that goal. I mean, actually score their first goal in most of their fans, but I actually believe. As looking at how solid as I've also been at home, I mean, defensively and all of that, I think us might just get a 2-1 win.
Well, let's see what happens with that one. But this is where we call it a wrap with this episode of the Rough Tackle podcast there. But do well to follow the Ghana Premier League on social media at Ghana League _ that is for Instagram. Then on Facebook is Ghana Premier League. X is Ghana League. And also watch episodes of the Rough Tackle on Ghana Premier League YouTube channel as well. For those of you who can't watch the game on TV3 and on your TV, you go to adisaplus.com and enjoy the stream there. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Thanks to Mandela and thanks to our guests, and catch you after match day 8.